Welcome back to FastPacedLace, the podcast where we dive into the stories of athletes who redefine speed and resilience. I'm your host, Lacey. Welcome back. And today we're joined by a rider who's been making waves in the BMX world, True Bailey. From a late start in the sport to representing Team USA at the 2024 UCI BMX World Championships, True's journey is a testament to determination and passion. So let's get into it. Welcome, True.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you for coming.
Of course.
You're our first official BMX athlete on the podcast, so we're
excited.
super happy to have you. So do me a favor, for some of the people who don't know you and aren't familiar with your story, tell me what drew you into the sport and how you caught up so quickly with it.
So, when I was about 7 years old, I was living in Seattle, and then we moved about an hour away from there. And when we got there, we were just looking for things to do, and we stumbled across a state race actually going on, and I saw it, and I was like, I have to do this. So immediately we bought a bike. Next time there was a practice, we were out there. I was riding. I crashed like 4 times my very first time on the track. It was bad.
And that was
whole
about
bike fell
7?
apart. Yeah, the whole bike fell apart. Yeah, it was bad.
That's funny.
But I don't know. It was just something about the sport that I loved. Crashing and all of it was just awesome.
It never deterred you away from it. You always came back to it every time.
Always.
So you said you started when you were 7, but you took a little bit to kind of catch on, unlike most of the other kids. From the years from 7 to like 13, what were you doing to like stay motivated? Were you just...
Dude, I was horrible.
You were never horrible.
I was horrible when I was younger. I mean, before I turned expert, I was like Sam because I was turning so quickly. And then when I got to expert, I just couldn't. It was like I didn't know how to ride a bike.
It was just a totally new...
Yeah, it was a whole new class. I wasn't ready for it. I was so young. And it kind of just like kept putting me down. I was always second because I was racing Sean Day all the time. I grew up with him.
Yeah. You guys were up there in Seattle together, grew up
Spent the
there.
night at his house a couple of times.
Yeah,
We're really good friends. I love him.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, he's a really good kid.
Also been around for a very long time.
Yeah.
Same, you guys are basically the
we
same
grew up
age.
together.
You're just a couple of months apart, I think. Yeah,
Really. It was pretty hard to stay in it because I was constantly like losing to Sean and everybody else. Like it felt good when I would get those little wins.
Yeah.
But I broke my arm one time while I was training, and I used to go to a lot of training camps. Like I would always go stay at people's houses. So when I was 8, I went to Rebel Run multiple times for a week by myself. I flew by myself.
Oh, wow.
Then ever since then, I was going to Berlin Super Camp. I went to Jeff Upshaw's house for a while. He was
Over there in
training some
Utah?
people. Yeah. When we were in Idaho, we were at a jump park, and I fell on the tiniest jump at the park, and I broke both the arms in my right arm, both the bones, and I was out for like a year. Or I wasn't out for like a year. I was out for like 6 months, but I kind of stopped. I didn't really want to ride anymore. I was kind of done with it. I was sick of getting hurt because I'd broken my hand a couple times and my wrist snowboarding.
Injuries are rough to come back from.
And so I was so young and I wasn't doing very good in the first place. So I kind of stopped for like a whole year. I took a year off and I came back for like a couple local races and a practice. I don't know what it was. It clicked. Like that break just gave me something in the sport, like clicked.
We're going to talk more about that, like mental toughness and how that mental ability really plays a role into BMX. But before we do, I want to talk about, when you had those earlier moments, you talked about how you had to push through and, you took the time in that year off. When you came back and you started racing those smaller races, is that what helped you push back into racing entirely? Or was there like something that really made it click for you that was like, no, this is the sport that I belong to?
When I came back, I was like really fast for some reason.
Okay. So you gained a little speed on them?
And it was like, I was just riding better.
Okay.
Because I'd taken that time off and it just gave me a different perspective on the sport. And it just made me ride better. I was happier riding my bike. I was having fun. And it just grew from there. Like I started going to nationals again and I started doing good at nationals. And it just kept, it was fun. It was fun winning. It was fun getting to the top and like racing at that level.
Yeah.
So quickly after just having such a horrible time before that.
Yeah.
And so I think like 2 years after that, I went to Grands for the first time. I was like 13 or 14. My first time at Grands, I made the main, got third. Second time I got second. And then third time I crashed and had a concussion. Kind of sucked. I had to go home after that. But
it's okay. We'll skip that year. That's okay. Speaking of huge wins, you recently went and represented Team USA at the 2024 UCI BMX World Championships in Rock Hill. And not only just that in itself being a significant milestone, but tell me about that experience and what it meant to you.
Dude, that was a crazy experience. Like, it was
Yeah.
so cool just being out there feeling it like such a high level of the sport, just being around those people. Like, everybody was just at such a high level and everybody's moving so fast.
Hmm.
It was just so cool to get to be around those kinds of people.
Yeah.
It just really gets you excited and ready to race.
Now, kind of give us a breakdown because UCI is a little different than USA BMX. So, like, you're separated from your family. You only are allowed to be with your coaches and the mentors that UCI hires and, allows into that segment.
Yeah.
Does that almost help your advantage, you think, or does it hinder you a little?
It wasn't really that bad because the pit area was the
Mhm.
only off-limit area where you go to staging, pits, it's all in the same area. But you're able to leave like whenever you're done like riding,
Okay.
you're able to leave and go see your family, go get food.
Nice.
You're not trapped
You're not
completely like
stuck.
the little kids. Little
Okay.
kids are like stuck in their like tents the whole
Yeah.
day. We can leave since we're like older and
Had a little bit more
yeah,
freedom.
we have
Yeah.
a
So take me through um like your mindset going into that championship. Like what were you thinking? What were you feeling? Did you have any goals? Did you have any expectations? Like, or were you just like, it is what it is and whatever happens happens?
usually that's my mindset. Whatever happens,
Yeah.
like it helps me ride better.
It
Just
does.
not giving myself any expectations, just going out and having fun. I did go into that race injured though.
Mhm.
Like 2 weeks before that, I crashed and fractured a rib and bruised a lung. And so that whole time I was just having trouble breathing. And then when we got there, it was rainy and humid.
Yeah.
And I was just like having trouble breathing and my side was constantly in pain where I bruised my lung.
So pushing
But
through something already.
But yeah, I was like, dude, I'm injured. I'm like not really at the top of my game right now because my mental was down after
Yeah.
crashing like that and getting hurt like that. I even peed blood. That was pretty funny.
No, that's not funny.
That
That's
was it
not
was
funny.
scary. It was pretty scary.
Yeah, I remember we
Yeah,
talked about how when you got injured afterwards, yeah, we
yeah.
had a chat afterwards to make sure you were doing okay.
Mhm.
When you're competing on the world stage and you're at that influence level, does your perspective on racing and your future goals change? Or does it make you want more? Like, do you want to be, Sam Willoughby? Do you want that type of life? Or do you want more of like the Nick Long life?
I really like how Nick Long lives. Like that's
Hmm.
I'd rather do that. But honestly, I don't know. We'll see how much longer I do this. But
Yeah.
I'm always off and on sometimes. Like recently I have been, but that's because I want to be a firefighter
Yeah. And that's
and I want to get
that's
into that. And
balancing
I
your
know if I
life.
do get into that, like I'll have to set BMX aside for a bit.
Yeah,
If
but
I
right now you're on your trail and on
right
a
now I
track for your
am.
BMX. Tell me,
Th-
tell me kind of what your goal is for this year, like
This
your
year is
long-term goal is.
I want to get Nat one this year.
You want that?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
want
that
the
that
black
one.
plate.
Yeah.
I want to get that. Just to have a really good year, just solid, consistent all year with my training, everything, just trying to stay on track. I think if I have like a year like that,
Yeah.
I'll feel pretty satisfied with the sport.
Good. Now, speaking of grands, you talked about going for the first time when you were younger, about
Yeah.
13, 14. But in 2023, you secured the top five spot in the NAG 5 Challenge in 1720 Expert. Tell me about that achievement alone, and then let's talk a little bit about that class.
All right. Um, that was pretty cool. The Nag 5 challenge is always awesome. It's almost like the world scene a little bit, but it's different. Like same amount of people, everybody's fast. It's just and then like you have the lights going off and on and you're just warming up with everybody else around you in the pros. It's really cool.
Yeah.
But no, Nag 5 challenge is just a fun race that you just get to go as fast as you can and see how well you can do against the other people.
Yeah.
1720 is always the class that's like at the top in that race
Everybody wants to
every
watch
time.
it. Yeah,
Every
it's
time.
it's the it's the elite race. So let's
Yeah.
kind of talk about 17 to 20. Now before you moved into the 1720X class, it wasn't 17 to 20X at the
Mm-mm.
time. So when it switched over and it became that, and you knew that you were having to go into that, what did you prepare differently, or were you like, it is what it is? Tell me about that.
Uh, for me, so my birthday is November 19th, right before Grands.
Yes.
Every year I've had to race up.
Yes, and for people who don't know, you age up on your birthday. So you could the year begins January 1st and you can race. So for example, you have been 18 racing all year and then on your birthday is when you will age up and turn
Yeah.
19 and then that just a month later is when the season ends, December 15th. So now tell me about having that birthday in November and kind of reframe.
When I was younger, like when I first went to Grands, it didn't even matter. Like I didn't even realize I was keeping up with everybody as soon as I aged up into the group. I knew it was going to be a hard group every year, but I always managed to push through with it and do good no matter what. Because it doesn't really matter how old you are. Like if you're, okay, it does, but
It does,
when
but
you're old, when you get to a certain age, like everybody starts to even out.
exactly.
And so it's pretty easy to put yourself in there if you stay consistent. And that's what I did every year. And then going into 1720 was like a big jump, but I still made the main that year. I think I got third, but I did pretty good. That really helped my confidence. But that class is a demon, dude. Like,
Yeah.
it's a different monster.
Yeah. What was it like when you were, thinking 17, 18-year-old raising, 20, almost 21-year-old?
Oh, geez.
Does it get in your head at all, or is
Well,
it?
it doesn't really get in my head. I don't really think about them because most of the 17 and 18-year-olds are winning.
Yeah, that's true.
Couple 19-year-olds. There's a couple
Yeah.
19-year-olds that are up there with us, but most of us are 18.
Yes,
And
they
so
were all in the same
the
group.
older you get when you're getting closer to 21, 25, you either go pro
Mhm.
or you're not good enough to go pro and you stay 21 and you go 21, 25.
Into the expert
Yeah.
class. Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's when you fully get into the expert class.
Now you've chosen to take that trajectory though and go towards the more pro route than stay
Yeah.
21.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have. Yeah.
So you've decided to make that switch and kind of stay towards that
hmm
that route. What specific areas do you focus on to make sure you enhance your performance for the season?
For training, I love just riding my bike. Like
Yeah.
that's the number one thing. Ride your bike, get comfortable on your bike, just really get into your skills and really take them apart and just refine them and make them better on the track. That help with track speed and then obviously strength in the gym. Always in the gym, working out. I've been doing a lot of upper body lately.
Yeah, I was just gonna
But
ask if you've like integrated any new techniques into like your from what you've learned last year and how you
um
place, if you've changed anything for this season.
for
Not
this
giving
season,
anything
yeah,
away, but as much as you can talk about.
for this season, I don't know. I've always trained myself.
Okay.
And so I'm just kind of lifting how I want to right now.
Okay. Well,
Whatever feels comfortable, whatever feels good, whatever I want to do at the time. Like recently, I've been doing a lot of upper body because my legs were kind of getting bloated or
mhm.
big. So recently, just focusing on track work and then cardio and upper body, and then I'll do plyometrics sometimes. Squats, I love squatting, Romanian deadlifts, everything, Bulgarian split squats, all of it.
Is there anything on the track that you do specifically that you've changed this year a little bit?
Not really. I don't really have any like superstitions or anything that I'm
No.
used to or that people do because I know people have like repetitive actions that they do every race.
Yeah,
I did
tap your helmet
last
three
year.
times before you get on the gate or
Yeah,
something. You're
or
not
do some
none of that.
stretch. I
Yeah.
used to do that, but this year I've just been going in. Every race is different, and
Yeah.
it's just another obstacle every time.
Having a clear mindset into
Mhm.
each race. That's good. That's good. Now, for everybody that doesn't know, you currently race for Impact Racing right
Yeah.
now, and that's a local organization run by McKeith Hobson. That's a local to the Whitney Mesa track here in Henderson, Nevada. Now, tell us a little bit about mentorship and how you've kind of moved into that role for the littler kids because
Mhm.
we have to be honest, this episode is going to be probably watched mostly by the younger kids because they are huge fans of True. So tell me what you talked about with those kids. Like what do you give them? What do you
Um,
tell them?
so when I was younger, I trained kids at Berlin's camp. As I got older, I trained kids there. And so going into like being on this team, like just team practices, every single one of these kids on the team, I'm helping out,
Mhm.
talking to, giving them motivation to keep writing or keep doing the exercise or whatever we're doing. But my biggest thing with training kids is just let them have fun,
Yeah. Absolutely.
especially coming from me. Like
Mhm.
when I was younger, like it's kind of hard to just have fun because I was always training. I was always going on to the next thing, onto the next training camp or wherever I was.
Yeah.
I don't know, just getting to ride your bike and have fun and enjoy it instead of being pushed to your limit every single time you go ride
Yeah.
makes it a lot better.
Yeah. I think that that is definitely shown in how you interact with younger kids,
Mhm.
definitely for sure. Do you have any advice for the newcomer kids that kind of had a slow start like you, where they, took a little bit longer to get to not their peak, but, to their peaking?
Yeah, where they start like
Yeah,
breaking into the upper class.
exactly.
I don't know. You have to be really consistent at that time.
Mhm.
You have to just keep going to every single, like, you're not gonna win every single one, like, it's gonna suck. And maybe you need a break, maybe you don't. Just have fun. Like I said, always just have a good time riding your bike. Enjoy the process of getting good, and then enjoy it when you're at the
The information discussed in this podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered medical advice. Always consult with a healthcare professional before starting any new training or recovery programs. Came back in a sweatshirt. Cut! Right, we are back with True. So, I wanted to touch back a little bit on, we were talking about mentorship and what it's like racing here in town with the local kids and what you do for them, for the community. Is there anything that you can think of off the top of your head right now that you would tell maybe an 11X that's struggling to get to that elite level right now?
I'd probably just tell them to have fun with the sport, like, really dive into your training, really get it dialed in, be consistent with your training, and just have a great time riding your bike.
Yeah. Is there anything that you have to say, because you're 18 now, is there anything you have to say to those BMX parents that maybe you could suggest to them? Truthfully, like
Maybe,
truthfully.
yeah, like, maybe be a little, like, let off. Like,
It's
part
not
of the
that
reason I
serious.
took such a long time off was because my dad was so hard on me. I was just getting burnt out, and I was just tired of getting yelled at. Like, I knew what I did wrong before I got off the track, and I don't need to have it screamed in my face and then used as, like, something like, it just makes it uncomfortable when you're around them too,
And then everybody else is
and then
watching as well.
everybody else watches you get yelled at as well, and that's embarrassing.
Yeah, definitely
Um,
good. That's good. That's good. I think it's good to keep in mind because you're an adult now growing into the sport, and the parents look to you as well because, that's who their kids are looking up to.
yeah,
So it's good for you to be able to give that feedback to them as well so they can know, hey, it's not always that serious. Like
it's not.
it really is just a game in the end. Like we may be pedal to the metal, but it really is just a
It's
race.
not that
It's
serious.
not that serious. So speaking of a community again. What legacy do you hope to leave behind in this Las Vegas Henderson community with the True Bailey name?
Well, if I do end up quitting or leaving, I'll still for a while still help at the track. I just wanna be seen as, like, a good figure who helped out the community and was just a cool ass dude.
I think you've achieved that already
Yeah,
pretty much.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So, okay. So we're going to switch gears. I have some rapid fire questions for you before
Alright,
we do a little wrap up.
awesome.
Okay. So just off the top of your head, whatever comes to mind,
Oh, no.
8 questions. Okay.
Okay.
Favorite BMX track?
Whitney Mesa, but I really like Louisville, and I really
Okay.
like Rock Hill. I
Okay. Whitney Mesa local.
local
Okay.
favorite national track, I'm gonna have to go with Louisville.
Louisville.
I
Okay.
love it.
Yeah. Why do you love it so
I
much?
don't know, I've always done good there,
Yeah.
and it's always been such a fun track to be on. It's smooth. I'm able to
I was gonna
carry
say,
my
what about it?
speed, and it's just super fun to ride. It's awesome. It's a
Tell
great
me
track.
about tell me about Louisville. Is it a short track, long track?
It's a pretty long track.
Yeah.
There's an 8 meter there too, which I really like.
Okay.
It's it's pretty steep, but it's a fun 8 meter.
Nice.
Pro set there's fun too.
Yeah. You
But
like the
it's
pro
just,
sets.
yeah. It's just it's a smooth, fast track. It's pretty long.
Got it. Okay. So I know we said you didn't have anything earlier, but do you do any pre-race rituals? Maybe not superstitions, but like, is there something, do you put your left sock on or your left shoe on, your left clip shoe on? Do you clip in a certain way at the gate? What do you do before you get on the gate?
Well, going before I get into the shoots, I'm probably getting ready like last second. So if we're in the shoots or about to go in the shoots, I'm probably getting dressed.
Probably, yeah. Normally the last
Um,
one there.
I show up like last. I always make. Oh, actually, that's one of the reasons why I missed gate pick this year. One time, yeah, I was watching racing, and then they were doing gate pick, so I missed it. And I got over there, and I had to get gate 8.
Hey, good
Yeah,
things come out of gate 8.
but other than showing up late behind the gate, always do the same thing, the
Same thing.
exact same thing. Well, when I get into the gate, so like when I'm clipping in, putting my pedals around, getting into the gate. I always roll my bike in, left foot clipped in, even though I start with my right, left
Yeah.
foot clipped in, get up on my right foot, spin it around one time, right to where I need it to be, and then I stop. And I either stand there the whole time, or I sit down. And when I sit down, like I like to roll my shoulders back and take a huge deep breath, like just constantly getting oxygen. Even behind the gun, like taking deep breaths constantly. It helps with the nervousness. Well, now I don't really get nervous. I just feel the adrenaline.
Yeah, I was gonna say the rush.
It's more of a rush. It's more of a controlled adrenaline rush through my body, and I love it.
Like how you can, because you're gonna have to apply that adrenaline,
Yeah.
basically. So you're just learning to prepare it to apply it.
Your body already knows what to do, so you just go auto mode and give it everything.
Now, do you watch the lights or listen to the
I watch
lights?
them.
You do. So, because Ratty was a listener, and so that was always an issue, and I always
It's a
asked that.
challenge, but it helps looking up.
It
You
does.
look up,
Yeah.
you look at something.
Oh yeah.
It's way better than looking down and
Looking down at your tire. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely see some good advice. See, you're giving some good advice for those little kids out there. Okay. So, when you were growing up, who was your role model in the sport?
Bubba Harris.
Bubba Harris. That's a good one. Tell me a little bit about Bubba. I mean, obviously you were going to Berlin's tracks, and that's his dad.
But I met him at Rebel Run actually when I was 8.
Really? And so really big bit of figure in your life for a while.
Yeah, I've known him for a while. He's super cool dude.
Yeah,
Awesome what he's been doing with the churches or the church.
Oh, I love that.
He's an awesome guy. I love him, dude.
Yeah. Do you apply any of that into your ritual at all? Do you have faith in your racing, or do you try to separate the two?
I usually have, like, sometimes I'll do a little prayer before I race.
Yeah.
Things like that.
I think it's good to talk about that because a lot of people don't, you see a lot of people wearing crosses, but you don't know what their actual, if they're thinking that or if they are sending something up or something like that.
Yeah, I think some people can be like that, but everybody has a different relationship with God. They're all at different standpoints with him in their life. But as long as it's better to, I always hear it's better to talk to him even when you're upset with him or angry or in a bad place or you're just not having a good time or like you're sinning a lot. Just talking to him, even going through that, just having that relationship is really important. It's better than not. Like at least you're talking to God instead of ignoring him.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that you've had such a great relationship with that still in your life. Like that's good for you to continue on into your adulthood. So, unsoftening a little bit, we got a little soft now. Now that you're older and you're kind of considered an elite rider and somebody that would actually say, I look up to True Bailey, is there somebody that you raced with that you never thought that you would be on the same level as them?
That I race with currently, like in 1720.
Or just in general, like in the UCI, like you're considered an elite rider. You know what I mean? You never.
Well, Rico Biermans came a couple of times here.
Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah.
I kept up with him in that vote. I was like crazy. I was like, it's pretty cool. I mean, although Whitney is my home track.
Yeah.
Just being able to keep up with him and just be there with him.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It like helped me go faster too. It was right before Grands. It got me ready for Grands.
Does it help you to chase somebody, to have somebody that's always in front of you a little bit? Yeah.
Always have somebody to chase. Always have somebody who's pushing you. For me, I have Cash Hobson, Makiva Hobson.
Yeah.
Caden Ireland's been getting faster.
Yeah.
I got plenty of people at the home track keep me occupied and keep me on my toes because every second they're getting faster. I'm trying my best to keep getting faster as well, but they're pushing me. They're catching me.
I know you dropped some boy names just now, but we have to give some appreciation to the girls' club. So, is there any girls that are on your radar right now that you're like, I just see nothing but trajectory for them? Take your time.
All right.
Who's on your radar? Like, who have you been seeing on the national scene quite a bit? Like, what's a name that's kind of popped into your head?
I don't know. With Ava kind of slowing down before Grands. Or not going to Grands, and then just a dominant 1720 girl, Rita.
Rita Fedaway?
Yeah.
Yeah, we love Rita. Yeah, Fedwa. Yeah, she's great.
She's on our team. She's a great rider.
She is.
Rita is an amazing rider, and I think she has 3 national titles in different biking sports. But she BMX national champion for the junior women. She has velodrome racing national champion. And then there's another one. I couldn't remember what it was.
Well, that's awesome. That's so awesome.
But she's just an incredible rider.
Yeah.
She's going super fast. Another person, Alexis Alden. Her and Rita battle. They're like the main competition with each other. They're pretty fast. They might be the next pros that go up with Ava.
Yeah, it'll be fun to
Yeah,
see. It'll be fun to see. It's a great class. It's a great class that's
definitely.
growing between the boys and the girls. So, okay, back to racing. Do you have any go-to like post-race meals that you have to have?
Dude,
Like
I'll eat anything.
what's your favorite though? Like what's your
I
favorite post-race meal?
sushi. Dude, I love sushi so much.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
my favorite. That's my life.
That's your life. Okay. If you could describe your writing style in one word, what would you say?
I'd probably say strength, like just strong.
You're a strong writer. You definitely are. You definitely are. I would agree with you there. Now, even if there wasn't a track, is there a dream city that you wish that there was that you could race in? Anywhere in the United States, anywhere in the world.
I don't know. There's a lot of really good tracks on all the good places.
Yeah. Okay. So what's a dream city to race in?
Dreams. I've raced at every place here. I
Yeah.
think
You have raced every place here. What? Okay. So outside anywhere, any international tracks?
international tracks. Rotorua.
And where's that?
That's New Zealand. I'm pretty sure.
Wow. Okay. So far.
Yeah, Rico Bierman
Okay.
goes there. There's a New Zealander here actually staying with Kate in Ireland. His name's Nick Cowie. He rides there, and I've always seen videos of that track, and it looks awesome. Like it looks like such a fun track.
Nice. Okay. Now, helmet color of choice, if you could choose, because we do know that you're on a team and you're kind of limited to, what they make you wear. If you could do helmet combo with race outfit, what would be your go-to colors?
I think just black.
Black?
All black.
Even the helmet?
Yes.
Not even like a pattern?
All black or all white.
All black or all white. The white jerseys, the white outfits that you guys do have this year with the gold across the front are pretty. They're
Those are
they're
pretty
pretty
nice.
sick. I
I
think
like
they're my
those.
favorite that you
Mhm.
guys have had entirely. I do want to make a small comment that I do find it very funny that some other team looks
Oh my
really.
God, that's
I won't say anything because it's just me. But yeah, I do find it ridiculous.
sometimes people do
Sometimes,
that.
yeah, it's okay.
Fine.
I guess there's only so many colors to choose from, and
Yeah.
you both had to choose gold the same exact year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I also went up a pant size this year.
you grew.
No, I was just sick of the tight pants.
So you said I need to grow up.
Yeah.
Time to put on some big boy pants.
I need to put on the big, but they sag though. So I don't, so I look funny, like my calves, like they sag down and there's like, they scrunch up. The 32s, so I'm wearing 34s now.
Uh-huh.
32s are too small.
That's so
They're
funny.
like gripping my like thighs and like calves and I can't breathe. But then the 34s are too big.
This is also funny for me because Rowdy, okay, and everybody watching knows Rowdy. Rowdy was a 26. It was such, we used to buy the youth long because that's the only size that they would
Oh
have
my God.
cinched down. So his waist was so small. Sorry, son. We might leave that in there. But anyway, yeah,
Yeah,
no, I'm all the pant size. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. So,
always.
okay, what is one piece of advice that you live by?
None.
None? What's your motto? Just
Just have a good ass time.
have a good ass time. I love it. Did you have a challenging obstacle this year that you felt was difficult, and how did you overcome it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
we don't have to
we
talk
don't have
about
to
it,
talk about it. Yeah,
but tell me how you stayed strong through that mentally.
riding my bike.
Yeah,
I went to a lot of nationals at the beginning of the year. At the beginning of the year, just riding, going off, traveling with Makiba
yeah,
and Sammy. Great. I love them. They're my
we
mom
do.
and
We
dad.
love McKeeva and Sammy.
They're my second mom and dad, like you guys.
Yeah, we do. We love
Hmm.
them, and they
They've
took your
done so much for me.
they have taken your career and your brand and
Yeah,
turned it into something
they
to where
really
you
have.
can definitely profit off it for a very long time if you
Yeah.
continue on the path that you're on. In my opinion,
Hmm.
I agree. That's why you're
That's
my
great.
first, my first BMX guest. So there is one final thing that I did want to ask you about. A memorable moment could be a past race or a recent race, but what is one moment that stands out in your BMX career?
Like through the whole thing.
Yeah, like what's your most proudest accomplishment in BMX so far? You've done a lot.
I don't know. All of it.
All of it?
It's just all of it's great. All
Yeah.
of it's fun. Like no matter if it's a second, a third, a first, like it's all great. I'll enjoy it.
Yeah. You still enjoy the ride.
I just enjoy it. Just the whole of BMX, like my whole career, everything.
Yeah.
That's the greatest moment. The whole thing.
So tell us what we can expect from True Bailey this year. Any upcoming races, training, what do you have going on? What's on the schedule?
I'm gonna be training hard, consistently, killing them.
Leno? Yep, we're going for that. You're going for that title?
Black plate.
You're going for that black plate.
Going all the way.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, thank you so much, True, for being here with us. I had such a great time. Appreciate you so much. Thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you again, True, for sharing your inspirational journey with us. Your dedication and achievements are truly unremarkable. Like, we can't even, I mean, the stats I had to go through to try and find things were just insane. To our listeners, stay tuned for more episodes of Fast Paced Lace, where we continue to spotlight athletes pushing the boundaries of their sport. Until next time, keep riding fast and chasing your dreams. Bye.
Bye.